on, eh?
Yeah.
What's something that reminds you of like early 2000s New Zealand?
Now CDs.
Holy fuck.
That's like the first thing that came to my head. You know, music obviously, but like a Now CD. You'd be lining up for the latest one. Like Now 20.
Now
Now
I remember
21.
walking past my sister's room and she just had this massive like young Britney Spears poster, and it was always like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
And then using like a wheelie bin as wickets and playing cricket.
Yeah.
You just reminded me of do you guys know Austin Powers Gold Member?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know
bro.
that movie?
Yeah.
So on the cover, there's well, obviously Beyonce.
Yes.
Foxy Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Oh. Name drop.
Alright.
Delete search history.
So,
Yeah, I know the movie.
so Beyonce's on the cover, and like, I'm just gonna be really like blunt here.
That's right.
You could see her titties quite clearly.
Oh.
And me, I was maybe like 7, 8 years old. Had the DVD cover. There was no DVD in it. Fuck knows where that went.
Yeah.
And I used to keep it under my bed. And then, because I wasn't like, I wasn't playing with myself or anything at this point.
Yeah.
Which is so funny to think of, that I just would have this, just look at it,
Yeah.
just chuck it back under the bed, and then go to tuck in and be like, yo.
That's doing something. I don't know
It's
what.
I had the old
I can feel something.
had the old like PlayStation like books, like they had the cheat codes and stuff in it, and then there's the chick on the front, or from like Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, it was the same sort of thing. Like too young to do anything with it, but I'm looking at it like, yo,
Oh, I know.
they're just cheat codes, mum.
Well, there's something. I'll be like, there's something there.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
something there. I'll be like Simon Cowell at American Idol. So there's something.
Yeah.
Like this. I don't know
Gold
what it is.
buzzer.
I haven't. Yeah.
Sorry.
I haven't worked it out yet.
Shit, that was a.
That was like, did you have any cartoon crushes or anything growing up?
Holy. I remember Jack Harlow and What's Poppin'. He mentioned Shigo from Kim
Bro,
Possible.
That's where.
And I remember when he mentioned that, I was like, yeah, she used to hit. She used to
Yeah.
hit for me. And because also she was like culturally ambiguous. Like, you don't really know what she was.
Nah.
She could have been Asian, but she also could have been like, because she was quite pale skin with black hair. She could have been from West Auckland. I seen a few of her at Westgate. I was like, works for me.
She go.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Shigo head to Rebel Sport out in Westgate. I was like, fuck, all right, I guess I'll go grab a basketball.
Yeah, that's.
Nah, Shigo was on.
She's up there, definitely. Old KP.
Yeah.
That-
KP. Oh, right.
Possible.
Sorry. I was just
Possible.
thinking Katy Perry.
Yeah.
She made me feel like a plastic bag.
Kim Possible. I remember that line. Kim Possible, cargo pants.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else used to...
I can't think of too many. You've put me on the spot.
Nah,
here, Jared.
you know who used to hit for me? This is when because I have a bit of a thing for cougars.
Nice.
Always loved older women. I've dated older women.
Oh yeah.
You didn't ask, but I dated a 40-year-old once.
Sick.
That was unreal.
When was this? So what's the age gap when you?
It was pretty long ago, like 2 years ago,
Oh yeah.
3 years ago.
Yo.
Yeah.
Kids?
So
Yeah, one
nearly
kid.
double the age.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck, I was on too.
you should meet our mate Connor. He's he's in on that as well.
That's the
Yeah.
I'm out here, brother. We out here. We out here. So I really liked from Powerpuff Girls, the Mayor's the Mayor's Missus.
And you just saw
Yeah.
her legs all
Yeah,
the
and
time?
you saw the
in that?
legs?
Yeah.
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 See that's
This is bringing so much back.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Like,
this is the thing for me was like DVD covers, half a body.
yeah.
Little me didn't need much.
Yeah.
What's
I could
happened to the world?
work with whatever was being thrown at me. and that's just defined me as a man as well.
And you're at a certain age and the internet just fucking ruins you, eh?
Oh yeah.
Well, it's all over now.
Wonder what age
That's
I'd
what, I remember being in ICT in year 7 and
ICT. Sorry, you go on.
ICT?
Yeah,
computer class.
ICT.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Just
it is
cow-
ICT.
cows on wheels
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Sorry.
Just
it's-
googling like
it's a short
boobies and that, and then and then I remember
Fuck, I
like,
still do that.
I remember feeling my teacher like,
Sorry.
Whoa.
and
What
she
was his name?
fuck, could have been Catholic school. The
Shout out. Shout out, Jesus.
but the I remember her asking in the back. She was like, "Oh, what was that?" And then like the quick minimize. Like, "Oh, it was nothing." And she's like, "No, exactly what it was." I was like, "Oh, what?" And
Then what happened?
she was
Come
like,
to my office.
she was like, she's like, "It was Princess Leia. I know you're a Star Wars guy." And I was
Is
like,
that what she said?
Yeah, I'm a Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Sweet, same." And then there was that.
Jared's like,
Little does she know it was Star Princess gets dicked down by Jedi.
Jabba the
Jedi Knight. Oh.
oh,
Beauty, I'd watch that.
fuck it.
No, that does happen. That happens in A New Hope. You'd know if you watch Star Wars. You don't remember that scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the proxies on like the things that like teenagers went through at high schools, like when on the computer to just try and get anything on there.
Yeah.
Like some of the
Yeah,
proxy
bro.
servers or whatever, or like the whole, like I remember being at intermediate and I had like a PSP, you know, like PlayStation Portable,
yeah.
and then like
Nice.
people had like porn on their PSP and then would try and like share it around, and that was like our advocate. Like I don't even think the internet was out. Sorry, like we didn't think we had access like we do now.
Nah.
2G.
So yeah,
I do remember. I feel like because did you boys start high school 2009?
Yep.
Like
2008.
2009.
2008, 2009.
Yeah.
We didn't have like smartphones when we started, but then
No
I think
way.
by the end of it,
Yeah.
we might have.
By
Yeah.
seventh form,
Maybe
I had,
only just.
Some did.
I had an
Yeah.
iPhone
Yeah.
3 in seventh form, I think. Yeah,
You did?
it was by the end of it.
I don't think I had a smartphone till uni,
Yeah.
Mm.
but it just makes me think now, like, yeah, where did we get our shit from?
Yeah.
Shout out to Phone Erotica.
Oh,
Phone erotica.
walk to the dairy, get $20 top up.
You know, in the corner
Gone
of your
in
phone,
20
used to have the
seconds.
little Vodafone Live thing, and you click it and try and exit out of it, and then it munched all your data, so you couldn't get
Fuck,
text
that's
2000.
right. You just text the little glow. You
Yeah.
press the little glow by accident. Fuck, beauty.
Yeah.
$50 bill because you loaded up the Vodafone homepage.
Dude, I can't believe it as well. Like like $20 top up, and it was like what, text 2,000, text 5,000 for
Yeah.
$10 for 2,000 texts. Now it's like how have they come so far that they were charging us like an arm and a leg to like send a couple of texts or go online, and now it's like everything's free.
Because no one was using those 2,000 texts. I fucking don't even text 2,000 cunts now.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck?
who those people that ran out of texts?
That
Like,
was the
who were
people,
those
you know, when
people?
you'd just be chilling at home and then your phone go bing and it's just someone that you've got their number but you don't message them and it's just like, hey, bracket colon. And you're like, oh, okay, I'll talk to you tonight.
I do remember it being a thing that you'd brag about if your text 2000 ran out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my text 2000 ran out.
Yeah.
It doesn't count me
To
fucking.
get you next month.
Yeah, but are those texts being returned? Like that was like okay,
What's
cool.
the ratio?
Yeah, like cool. You spent your text 2000 because I definitely was not spending one. But when everyone was sitting around talking like they were spending theirs, I was like, yeah, no, mine's all out. So
Yeah, that was like when people had like the best mate thing. And everyone was like, oh, I'm best mate with this girl so I can call it for free and that. And I was like, fuck, mine's with my mum. In case I get stuck on the shore and I need to get home.
My best mate was definitely with my mum. Yeah. Mine was definitely with her. I'm just trying to think of like OG commercials from back then. For some reason, I just remembered. Do you remember that condom ad?
Oh,
Don't
bro,
got
I think
the-
I know what you're going to say.
They got the rubber, no hubba hubba.
Yeah.
Do you remember that
Oh.
one?
Yeah.
That
And
wasn't
it was
a
like a
chewing
little
gum ad?
like... No. And it was like a cartoon
was a
kind
cartoon.
of thing. Yeah. That and then the Vortex ad. It was like, hey, Dad,
Oh,
catch this.
Vortex Mega Howler.
It was like Steve
30,
Devine.
60,
Just
90 meters.
30, 60, 90 meters.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Dan Carter. I'll fucking throw this cunt. That's what he says in the ad. Watch me fucking hoof this cunt.
like, that's right.
Vortex Mega Howler.
Feel the power. They were way more lenient back then.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was like,
Fuck, he remade that ad recently. I
he
think.
did, eh?
Yeah.
Did he?
With Steve Devine.
They're not Vortex Mega Howlers
I
anymore.
don't know if
are
Steve
they?
Devine's like diving around anymore. That guy got fucking heaps of head knocks, eh?
Yeah. I met Steve Devine, eh?
True?
Yeah, he was a fucking dickhead.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's Australian, eh?
Must be. It must be. me and my mates were all on a piss at a bar, and he was with. Okay, I don't know if this was who it was, but it was like an OG All Black back. Maybe played like one or two tests. I want to say Caleb Ralph. If you remember that name.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Play for
don't-
Canterbury?
I don't think it was Caleb, bro. It was fucking no. So it was this rugby player named Brent Ward.
Mm.
He used to play for Auckland, played for the Blues. He was a fucking breather.
Yeah.
So me and all my mates were loving him, and Steve Devine was just standing over the other side, just like being real salty. Like anytime like we'd ask Brent Ward a question, we'd be like, Brent, like what was it like playing fucking Super Rugby? Steve Devine would be over there like, oh, what a fucking stupid question.
Just here for a
Yeah.
beer, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he'd be doing that.
Oh, true.
I'd be like, no one fucking asked you. Mini me.
That was like, I've done it once where I felt real intrusive after, and then because it was after an All Blacks test in Wellington, and I was at the airport, and I saw Quade Cooper and Richie McCaw having a
true.
quiet breakfast, bro.
Really?
Yeah, and then I walked up and I was like, "Hey guys, like nice breakfast. It looks like you're having. Mind if I just squeeze in for a photo?" Boom, Dad got it. And then they both looked like me like fuck off face on, and I'm sitting there like super red faced and like
They were eating together?
Yeah.
Did it seem awkward?
I don't know. I kind of just ran in and was like, "Can I have a photo?" Boom, got it.
I
Like,
love
nope,
that.
before they
They
came
must have
up
been
to
playing against each other at this.
it. Yeah, they
point
were.
in
It was.
time
I
as
went down
well.
for a test.
Shit.
But they like hated each other for that little bit. Like,
Yeah, no, that was what buzzed me out. I was
Yeah.
like, "Damn, like, does the Women's Day want to know? Because I've got a prize."
yeah.
Hey, that's a 90s thing. Hey, that's-
I've got a flick. Women's Day is the 90s. Okay.
My mum had a subscription to Women's Day, and I knew every time I came home from school on a Monday, there'd be like, you go home, bag off, go for a dump, and then straight like new Women's Day in the toilet, guaranteed. Just what's everyone up to? And all it was just Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. Are they having kids? Like,
I don't know why at like 8, 9 years old, the sight of a Women's Day like would make me horny. I don't.
because if you flick to the back, it would be like, who's holidaying in Saint Tropez?
This is the thing. Is like I don't think there was too much in there, but I just remember being a kid, like seeing a Women's Day sitting on the table with my nans and being like, "Oh,
Yeah.
But
Something's gonna
you've probably heard of like Naughty Mags or something by then, and you're like seeing these people in bikinis, like
on
they're-
the covers."
Yeah, they're taking them while they're on the beach, and they're like, oh, these must be the Naughty Mags they're talking about.
You know what's funny is there did used to be this newspaper, and my granddad used to buy it, and it wasn't the Sunday Star Times, but it was called something like that.
Mm.
And like half of it was like pictures of naked women and stuff. It was the news, but then there was heaps.
And like, if you flick to the back, it had like little businesses in
Yeah,
there,
bro.
and then prostitutes
Yep.
and shit. But funny story.
Nat Geographic.
I woke up one day early in the
Wrong one. That's right.
but I woke up one day early in the morning, and my phone just started pinging off.
Oh,
And it was just like ding, ding, ding. I was like, "Fuck, what's this?"
Yeah.
All random numbers saying, "Are we still on today? Like, are we still good? Can I still come through for my regular appointment?" And I text back, and I was like, "Who's this?" And they were like, "Oh, it's da 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 da. Oh, is this some girl's name?" And I was like, "Nope." And then I was like, "Where'd you get my number from?" And they're like, "It's printed in the back of the Bay of Plenty Times today." And then,
You're fucking kidding me.
no
no
shit, bro.
word of a lie.
Someone had checked it out.
Bro, I think it was a typo, because none of the boys owned up to it unless someone's got a secret. But
Nah.
straight up, for a day, bro, for 24 hours, like, my phone did not stop all day of like, "Are we
Really?
still on? Are we still on?"
Yeah.
And then people were like, "What's your rate? What can I get for this? I don't have this, but I'll get you back next week."
What in the fuck? Because
Yeah.
he's trying to get us on lay-by.
Yeah.
That's not how it works, brother.
Like straight up, like no word of a lie. No one put your number in there, and then
It was
just
nice to feel wanted.
it was ridiculous. Didn't we like Googled it as well? Wasn't there like an online thing, or we somehow got a photo of? I'm pretty sure we got a photo of
Yeah.
your number in the newspaper.
Fuck, I don't know. I only remember that the other day as well. Like, I forgot about it for ages.
Fuck, that is funny. How long ago was this?
Bro, I would have been like,
19.
Oh,
even earlier, bro. I was still living at home because I remember waking up at home.
Mum, I got a job.
I put an ad in the newspaper.
Got a couple jobs. But
Dad, how long to Tauranga?
hey, Dad, can you let me know when a Nissan Pulsar pulls out the front? That's for me. They're coming to drop something off. Fuck, that's funny. That is funny.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to episode 37 of Off Topic.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's a great
That was- that
intro.
was-
Oh, no. Oh, we still had it started. Oh, my bad.
No, that was the start.
That's our intro. That's
Our guest today is Joe Daymond. Thank you for joining us, bro.
Look at boys. Stop having me.
Bro, overseas, how's your trip?
Fuck, it was crazy. Have you boys been traveling much?
Yeah.
Where
Yes.
have you gone?
I've been around Europe, been around Japan, did like Bali and then a bunch of the islands and that in Aussie.
Fuck yeah. Did you have you been to Amsterdam?
Yes, sir.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. It's unreal, eh?
Oh, shit. I haven't
But-
been. I've obviously heard
You
a lot,
haven't been.
but
You know how when
Yeah.
you walk around there's like kind of zombies and like some dudes that are lost there.
Oh, fuck
when you're
yeah.
there, you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand how you can lose yourself here.
Oh,
But at the same time, it's like a weird juxtaposition of like beauty, but at the same time, it's kind of chaos as soon as the sun goes away.
yeah. It is a really buzzy. Because during the day, it's really vibey and kind of like. I'd probably put it during to like a welly, like a Wellington.
Mm.
Everyone's kind of hipster and like
Yeah.
somehow fucking everyone there's an architect.
Yeah. But all the buildings
yeah,
are crooked.
Yeah. All the buildings are fucked. Everyone's an architect apparently. Like,
it's because always like this.
yeah.
Looks good to
Yeah,
me.
they're fucking drawing it. Oh, fuck.
Is this
level?
Yeah, bro.
Pretty much. So it's really vibey like that during the day and like really trendy, but like cool. And then it is really funny. It's like as soon as nightfall hits,
Yeah.
everyone just fucking loses their minds. But you actually do see it slowly because you'll get to around 5-6 p.m. and you start smelling,
Yeah.
all the coffee shops and stuff.
Yeah.
People just sparking up.
Man,
And
It's like the middle of tourist season as well.
yeah. So it was real hectic, but
what's the price like as well? Like if you're going in, are you ordering like an espresso, and it's like
The coffee shops
it's
is
like
where you buy the weed.
expensive as fuck, and then the weed's just like cheap, or is it?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't remember.
it's like
Or is it?
they say Amsterdam is quite expensive, but I would say it's pretty similar to New Zealand price, which is obviously expensive as fuck.
Mm.
Yeah,
But
but with it being legal and accessible, it's just like fuck, it's all good.
It's
yeah,
like-
Pretty
You're there for
heavily
the
regulated in the
experience.
sense of like they give you the setting and everything if you want to sit down and long out kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like when we were there we were buying mushrooms and that, and there was only a certain amount of mushrooms that you could buy. They came in these containers, and you had to prove that you had bought. There was like different levels to it, and you had to prove you had bought like this one, and tear it up. And there was a top shelf of you had a member's card, so you couldn't just walk in and take them.
yeah,
that's sick.
that's really
Yeah.
regulated. Like the law, so legally you're not actually allowed to smoke inside commercial premises there. So that's why all the coffee shops, everyone smokes outside.
Mm.
Shit.
And there's also like another thing.
So if you're walking down the street, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
right.
but you're just not allowed to smoke it inside like
Yeah,
the place.
yeah.
So most coffee shops is just, it's no different to like a cafe.
Yeah.
Inside's just a fucking till,
Hmm.
and then
Shit.
everything's outside. But there's also another rule of like you're not allowed to. There's something of like you're not allowed to supply a certain amount, so they can only maybe hold a certain amount.
Oh, it'll be fully regulated.
Yeah,
right?
it is. It is regulated
Yeah.
like hard out, but it's mean, bro. Like,
Surely there's employees like dipping into the stash, eh? You know, like if
I
you
don't
worked
know.
at a chippy in New Zealand, like you're gonna have a few on the side, right? Like surely there's some dude.
It's one of those like
the
too much of a
Netherlands.
good thing though. Like if you've grown up with it all the time, you'd be like, oh,
I think it is probably a really weird idea, but like it's so normal there that it's like
yeah.
it's not a thing.
Yeah,
Because I met heaps of locals that like have just like never smoked or like
Oh, yeah.
they've never indulged in any of it because I think it's just normal there.
We were over
Oh,
there
Oh
for
fuck,
work,
I
or-
indulged. Yeah, I was over there for work. So over there shooting a TV show.
Oh no shit! Nothing you can say or you NDA'd.
Well, it's a TV show for TV3.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
About that's probably the most. We'll see. We'll see. Nah,
Lock and key.
it's about the history of New Zealand names.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
cool.
Yeah, so we're over there filming a bit of shit for that. So that was mean. I was over there for about 5 days.
Did you just stay in Amsterdam, or was there any other?
No, we went to a few places. So we actually mostly stayed in a place called Rotterdam, which is like an hour and a half drive, but like a 20-minute train
Mm.
out of Amsterdam. And Rotterdam's fucking mean. And then we stayed in this other place called Zeeland.
Hey,
Yeah, bro.
what?
That's where New Zealand's named after.
No
So
way.
we stayed there too.
Oh, true. So,
Zeeland is
yeah.
mean.
Yo,
Hey.
what,
Yeah.
you see other Kiwis over there, or like?
Nah.
Nah?
It's
is there
like-
any reference to it? No.
Nah. They don't
Hey.
even,
Fuck,
bro.
we're so far up our own arse. Hey, like you guys better be talking
They
about
don't.
us.
They don't even know about it, bro.
I guess
Like,
we're named after them.
Yeah,
not,
hard.
Well, I mean,
Like-
New Zealanders, like the New Zealand name, should I say, not
Yeah.
Aotearoa, but
Yeah.
like
The New
so
Zealand name.
so over there, they probably don't even know that
Nah.
that we're called that over
Well,
here.
it's funny because they know about New Zealand.
Ah, right.
Yeah, like but they just never connected. Like, so I'd be like to people like, so you know Zealand, and they'd be like, oh yeah, that weird fuck, because it's like they consider it like a Hamilton, bro.
Oh,
Hey.
true.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I'd be like, you know Zealand, and they'd be like, what, that weird fucking place down south. I'd be like, yeah. You know New Zealand's name after that, and they'd be like, the country. I'm like, yeah. They'd be like, oh, fucking makes sense. I'll tell you one of the buzziest interactions I had.
That would be a good show.
I'll tell you one of the most crack up interactions I had was I was talking to this girl, and I gotta.
Wee.
We were talking about New Zealand, and I was asking her like what famous people from New Zealand she knows, and she was like, nah, I don't really know any. I was like, have you heard of Taika? And she's like, nah. Have you heard of Lord? She's like, nah. And then she goes, get this. She goes, oh, actually, no, my favorite singer's from New Zealand.
Oh no.
And I'm like, if you don't know Lord, who the fuck is who?
Yeah.
She goes, Stan Walker.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Well, how the fuck you know that Māori bastard?
All right.
yeah.
What a reach.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn, good on him.
My fucking guy. So yeah, like this, and she loves Stan, and so a really buzzy thing is Dutch people don't know shit about New Zealand, but they know a lot. Like I'm not even shitting you, a lot about Māori culture.
Hey.
Yeah, they know about haka.
Oh yeah.
Those-
Well, that's synonymous now with the All Blacks and other sporting events as well.
yeah,
But even that, like,
they-
Holland's not like a rugby country kind of thing.
Nah.
No, but yeah.
That's cool that it transcends, like, even just the existence of the country, though.
Yeah,
That's sick.
yeah. So they know a lot about Māori culture, which is the fucking buzziest thing.
That's real cool.
But yeah, it was mean over there. It was sick.
I can just like envision everyone over there is just like baked all the time. You know, like you just said, like New Zealand, nah, this is New Zealand.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, what?
Dutch people are really cool. Like they're real chill. They're really, really easy to talk to.
Yeah.
Fuck, I pretty much got a girlfirend over there. It was buzzy.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
How many kids does she
Just
have?
yeah.
Puts the DVD case away.
1 and 9 months. I tell you now. But yeah, no, yeah, like they're so chill over there, and you can like, people will just walk up to you and start talking to you, and
Yeah.
not in a weird like.
Fuck, that would freak me out.
Yeah. Coming from West Auckland.
Oh, see, like back where I'm from, Wanui, it's a bit like that.
Mm.
So, like in Auckland, I probably do it like quite a lot for like somebody that lives Central City, because I love that, like walking up to randoms and just fucking talking to them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so when you go over there, it's like that on steroids. Like everyone just does it, and so it's fucking mean.
Well, that's where a lot of like your comedic work comes from, right? Like, because you're massive on your improv and you do
Yeah.
all that. So, like, walking up to people and like gauging their reaction must be like huge for you, just to like
Yeah,
kind of, yeah. Sorry.
no, so
Yeah, like kind of just to like go off what they say and then just have a conversation. But like, you get a lot of good content out of their reaction.
yeah, and like I've always been quite like it, because I traveled quite a lot when I was young. Like my parents moved around a lot. So like having conversations and stuff is actually like a bit of a comfort zone with me, which is why a lot of my comedy and like a lot of what I do revolves around like just talking to people. And
Yep.
Do you get like a kick out of seeing people become uncomfortable if you're grilling them?
I fucking do. I don't get a kick out of it. I get uncomfortable.
it's funny. I don't actually like I don't actually do it hard out. Like it's low key a bit of a it's like a bit annoying. I think not annoying. Like that's a bad word, but heaps of my clips that like went viral was of me doing that, but I don't actually really do that much.
Yeah.
Those were just like the funniest
They
ones.
just stick to the tropes.
Those were just the ones that people like fucking seem to like the most.
Right.
Usually I just like talk to people at a show like just real normally.
Yeah.
Unless they like give something really, really crack up to like make fun of. But I'm not really like
Yeah.
a roasty.
They throw you the alley-oop.
Yeah, but I'm not really like a roasty comedian. But I think because of all the clips that were going viral and stuff of me like roasting people think I'm like a big roaster. But I'm not.
Yeah, you
Not
heard
a
it here
roast.
first. He's a humble guy.
I'm not a roaster. I'm a toaster.
So we met you. Was it 2 weeks ago at Fight for Life?
Fuck is out, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
How was that night for you? Were you down ringside? Did you have a table? Were you?
Fuck you guys. I appreciate you guys thinking highly of me. I was up in the nosebleeds with you boys.
Yeah.
True.
You must have been on the other side.
We were on the
yeah.
side that the
Oh.
cameras weren't facing. We were behind.
We were
Oh,
behind
when there
the
was hardly
cameras.
anyone?
Yeah.
yeah. The other yeah.
Yeah, the
'Cause
real cheap
Yeah,
seats.
because I was with my mates. I was like, fuck, I want to be on that side because we were on the side that was like full.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was mean. We
I think it
sit
got open
anywhere.
real late, because when I went to buy tickets, I was like, fuck, there's like not that much left. And then I forgot about it and then bought them the day before. And I was like, oh shit, there's this whole other side open. They showed you where the ring was. And I was kind of like, oh,
It's
fuck,
not
that's
bad.
sweet.
Take that.
Ringside.
We got in the ring.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, we'll get to it. But
Okay.
we actually talked about it on a previous pod, but we'll let you know what the whole fucking scenario was. But so you were up on the nosebleed on the other side.
Yeah, because I was there supporting Teagues.
Yeah.
Because Teagues is one of my best
Was it
mates.
her birthday recently or something?
Yeah, it was her birthday the day after.
Yeah. Happy
You got a
birthday.
good memory, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's obviously one of my best mates, and she fought Honey.
Yeah.
Fuck, that was a tough watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
did
bet.
like a fight recap. It was just, that's unfortunate, but fuck, she had a fighter spirit.
Yeah. Just bad matchmaking ultimately. Like
Yeah.
an athlete, Teagues had trained for a year. But that's 20 years of like training for a sport
Athlete.
that you're up against.
Athlete.
Yeah, she's fucking Honey is
Yeah.
something else.
We saw her after the fight in her dress. She was on her way out. She was looking ripped, like even in her dress after the fact, and it was like,
Yeah,
Sheesh.
walked in traps first and you were like, oh.
Heck,
whoa.
she's trap lord, eh? But
Yeah, so we after the whole thing, the event kind of simmered down. I was still on crutches and a moon boot at the time, and I was walking out, and I went for a piss and came back, and I was like, "Fuck, everyone's gone." So I messaged Jared. I was like, "Where are you?" And he's like, "Ringside, baby." And he'd snuck in to the ring, and then so I was like, "Fuck it, well, I'm just on crutches. Like, just don't mind me," and just walked in as well. And then we all ended up in the ring afterwards.
It was sweet. Like towards the end of the last fight, the security kind of headed for the doors, but everyone kind of lingered for a bit. And I was like, well, there's no one around the ring now. And then shot in. And then after the final fight, there was like confetti falling, and a couple of guys were jumped in the ring to clean it up.
oh yeah.
So I was like, oh. Ducked through the ropes and pretended I was cleaning some up, and then stood there and I was like, yes!
Yeah,
Is it big in there?
Look at me now, Dad.
Does it feel quite big in there?
yeah, a little
Yeah, it
bit.
did.
Like not like huge,
It's
but
like
like
bouncier than you think, eh?
Oh, bro?
yeah, yeah. It
fuck.
was it was a bit bigger than you think. Not like massive, but like when you look at fights and you watch fights, you think, oh fuck, there's nowhere to run, there's not much to movement, but it's a bit. I think it's actually a bit bigger than you kind of realize. But yeah, like you say, the bouncing, like with the moon boot, like in the crutches,
Was ollieing everywhere.
trying to like get through the ropes. Those ropes don't stretch, eh?
Oh really?
No, like they.
That's
real
what I
tight.
thought. I was
Like
kind of
they-
like, I went to walk up and like Mike Tyson it and like goosh, goosh, goosh.
they
And then
I
I got caught and it just kind of like,
true.
caught me in the
Yeah.
back of the head. And I was like, this is embarrassing.
What do you guys think was the what was your favourite fight on the night?
First time for me, Jay Reeves and Tammy Davis.
Fuck, that's the only one I missed.
Well, because
Apparently it was crack up though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
bro,
like two
yeah.
drunk uncles can go in there. It was because we had Reevesy on a couple of months ago on the pod, and we kind of went to back him a bit, because he's a friend of the podcast, and we'd love to get Tammy on as well and get his side of the story, but man, they just raised the roof like that. As your first fight of the night, everyone just was so happy to see these
I heard
two
everyone
guys
loved it.
go at it.
Everyone was saying it was their
Bro,
favourite.
they were gassed in 15 seconds. But
Yeah, bro, they were
Fuck, that's hilarious.
it was good.
But it's funny because Jay was gassed because he's got a fucking hole in his chest.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That's what tripped me out, eh?
Tammy was gassed. Because he's Tam.
But he was like, after the fight, he was sweet afterwards. Like, he was tired during the fight, but then as soon as they were like, it's over, he was walking around being like, take me on again. We'll go again.
Yeah, he's like...
And Jay, like, they had to postpone the next fight a bit because he couldn't get out of the ring. Like, he was fucked.
Yeah,
What,
he-
Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
Oh,
was-
really?
Yeah.
He was struggling. He
What,
was
his-
hands on the ropes. Like,
Oh no shit.
having
Yeah,
to
he
breathe to
needed
get
like
out.
a good like 10, 15 to
Yeah.
kind of even be able to like walk out.
What I found like so fascinating was you watch because obviously they like fucking mixed it with like professional and amateur.
Yeah.
What was so fascinating was watching like people that had trained. Because like so, for example, like Teeks had trained so much, and I looked at him like, "Fuck, you must be pretty fucking good."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you put that against like
The levels.
the next one. I think was like Jerome.
Yeah. Pampaloni.
Yeah, Pampaloni.
Yeah.
And bro,
Yeah.
The snap.
the
every time.
speed,
Yeah.
like
The
the
level difference is
Was
incredible.
crazy.
Yeah.
Insane.
was crazy. So that was like, for me, I then thought like, fuck, if that's the difference between like them and then like someone like Jerome. Imagine what the difference between like Jerome and then like a fucking Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
I thought of like Floyd Mayweather, and then I'm like, how the fuck did the Pauls pick this shit up in 6 months and then
Yeah.
fight
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah, true. True, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
I think it took like 3 years, and like it's one of those things.
I don't think it was
know.
long, eh?
Yeah, they come across as like somewhat athletic dudes to begin with.
Yeah.
Fuck, have you got a price to cut for you to get in there?
Yeah, that's what I was headed next too. Yeah.
Bro,
if
let,
that phone rings, are you picking it up?
bro, let him offered me, eh?
Yeah?
Yeah, he put something forward for me like maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years. It's probably closer to 2 years ago. And I wasn't keen then, but fuck.
Well, we'll put it this way: it's gonna become a yearly due for off topic, and next year we're gonna get a table. So you better sign that contract.
going to be on the table or in the ring.
yeah, yeah,
Or both.
or both.
Off
Exactly.
the top of your head, who would you want?
Fuck. Who?
Oh,
Okay, now, okay, this is me being 100% serious about who I would take. Tammy.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'd fight Tam. Who else would I take?
You got Johnny Tuivasa-Sheck.
Fuck no.
bro,
Nah.
I saw him. I've never
You
seen him
wouldn't
in
take-
real life before. He was standing in front of me
Real
getting
life.
drinks, and I was like, "This is the biggest fucking dude I've ever
That's
seen."
Yeah.
people
massive,
do not
bro.
realize that Johnny is fucking huge.
He's
Oh, yeah?
huge, bro. He was wide ass.
He's huge.
like,
He's
sorry,
like,
not white, but like big and
Because he's like
Broad.
6'2",
yeah,
and he's fucking yeah,
funny.
and he's fucking a great guy.
Who?
Nah.
What's his name?
No, but Johnny, yeah, Johnny's one of my best mates, and like, fuck, I know how strong that dude is.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's fucking huge.
Oh,
Like,
Oh,
there's
well,
no-
fuck,
take
I would-
Roger then,
there's
the
no-
weaker brother.
I'd stay away from anyone with any like athletic background, eh?
Oh fuck, for sure.
Like if you could put me up against like, actually, I'm not gonna make fucking calls here, but like,
Bro, put you up against who?
You
I was
two.
gonna say like,
There you go.
fuck, who would have? If it was someone that was in the same sort of realm in a sense that like you sit in a chair and talk, or if like another guy that sells sheds or something, if he wants to go,
Okay, so it's you and the woolshed dog. The fucking-
The turtle span
yeah,
guy.
you know, the turtle span.
total spin.
Yeah, the turtle span guy.
Hey, Richard McCaw does sheds, doesn't he?
You and Art Green would be similar size, I reckon.
Yeah, but that dude can fucking like pretzel
Actually,
himself.
nah, you know,
But I can't touch my knees.
you know, you know who you are exactly. Do you remember the Short and Wide boys?
No.
They did this TV show called Short and Wide, like Ant Natural, Andrew Jones. Nah.
Nah.
Anyway, one of them.
Yeah, one of them.
One of them. AJ.
Hey, if you're short and wide, fight Jared.
Yeah, AJ.
You can take on like Jason Hoyt.
Jason Hoyt. I'll take a Lee Hart. I'm trying to think who I would genuinely accept. I'd accept Timmy.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't do it. I'd do it with somebody who, like, we're obviously not going to try and fuck each other up. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
probably more of a laugh.
Yeah, I think you and whoever you would fight would be great for an opener again. You know, like the
Yeah.
same way Tammy and Jay have.
Yeah.
You know, this time round.
It'd be it'd have to be someone like a real hard case. I don't know, I'm trying to think of like dudes our age, like
Yeah, hard.
like, in the industry.
Is
was
it like
very
someone on
scarce.
Shortland Street or something? I don't know. I haven't
yeah,
watched it.
there's a few boys there. There's a few boys there.
Who was that dude? I can't remember who he played on Shortland Street, but he was behind us at the Kendrick Lamar gig asking for water heaps.
Oh, no idea.
Asking for water. I know what that means.
No idea. But yeah,
I
so
can picture his face.
so
Yeah,
after the fights were said and done, you hit Sweatshop.
Hit Sweatshop.
Yeah, and this is where we finally met. And we had a mutual friend, Tony, that
Antonio Kochanov.
yeah, got in amongst, and it was good. We had a few drinks and stuff. It wasn't like packed as, I think, because
No, it's
Thursday,
pretty-
Thursday
it's pretty
night,
empty. Yeah, it's
right?
pretty empty. Yeah.
But it was, for us, it was like wall to wall with kind of not celebrity, I don't know.
I was
if
in a
that's
hot
the right-
flush, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like,
It was
like you see, like,
You said to me, you're like, this has gone from a work dude to a network dude. Let's go.
Oh no, fully.
yeah,
That
it was-
there were a few people like that, eh?
yeah, it was crazy. But did you have a good time overall? Like at the sweatshop
Yeah,
there, and
for sure. And it's funny you bring up the networking thing because like, it's definitely a piss take. But then in saying that, like, fuck, if you get really good at like getting around like things like that, that's when like
Bro,
shit starts happening.
the first thing I
Honestly.
did, I walked in the sweatshop. I saw Wairangi Kopu sitting down there with like folding arms, like the Godfather. Me and my drunken ass, like with the crutches, like walk over straight to
Yeah.
I beeline for him, and I sit down next to him, and I was like, "What's up, bro? Me and my bro, we have a podcast. If you're keen."
What did he say?
He just said, yeah. He said he was keen, and I was like, oh yeah, if you got Instagram, I'll flick you a message. He's like, yeah, sweet. And I was like, all right, catch you later.
Bro,
Check your
that's-
requests every day.
Yeah.
That's literally how you do it, bro.
Wow,
That's-
I just picked up my nuts and just went for it.
That's
It
honestly
just-
how you do it. Like,
and it was scary, but
Yeah.
you know, because he's a big. I said like, oh, it's unfortunate. Like I said, how long you been training? Like, I'm so unfortunate not to see you fight that night.
yeah,
You know, because it
yeah.
would have been cool.
Yeah,
But-
he's fucking shredded as well.
Bro, he's a big fucking
Yeah.
dude.
Bro.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the one that fucking buzzed me out was Carlos Spencer. When he walked in the ring and got it out, I was like, oh, shit.
You know he's lost size too.
True.
Fuck, he was bigger.
Hey,
Yeah,
but he
Need his
got
needles.
a clinic put on him.
It was unfortunate.
yeah, by Paulie Fats.
Yeah.
But yeah, that honestly, it's such a weird thing. But like, if you get really good at like getting around events like that and just being like,
Yeah. Oh, we
It's
just
just
Hi, I'm
weird.
Jared.
it's weird how things start. Yeah,
Yeah.
we just wanted to see some buffs, you know, and we knew that it was going to be full of people that we
yeah.
might know or interview or get, you know, have a conversation with, and just being in and around it was
Yeah,
an amazing experience. So
because like, honestly, like I've talked about it a fair bit with like a lot of my mates, but the only thing that set me apart from like other stand-up comedians, other like social media comedians, was that I like know how to network.
yo,
Like I really know how to do it, and I know how to like, I know like how to meet people who I should meet. That's the only thing that sets me apart from like a lot of the
Yeah.
other ones, because most of them are better than me, honestly. But like,
How did you actually, like, how did you, sorry if this is like a story you've repeated a million
No,
times,
okay,
but bro,
okay.
actually, how did you get into like the stand-up and all of that shit?
yeah, so I literally just started. I just gave stand up a go and just started doing it, and then
at like a comedy club or
Yeah.
a pub, or
Is it just
Yeah.
like an open mic scenario, or
just started open micing.
fucking the balls on this guy. What?
how long did you tamper with the idea before you were like, okay, next Monday I'm gonna go?
Maybe like a month.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I
Holy
think
fuck.
I think like a month, because what had happened was I was in quite a big crossroads in my life, and I just started this period where I had committed to just trying everything. So I made this list of all these things I wanted to try, and I committed to trying everything on the list.
So it's a good way to go about it.
Yeah, and it was buzzy shit. Like I tell people all the time, like one of the things was interior design. So I signed up to interior design school, and I was supposed to start that term, that semester, but I started stand up as well. And stand up, like, it hit from gig one. Like from gig one, I knew like,
Man,
okay, I'm probably gonna crack this. Like genuinely.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it
How
was
big-
like that.
If I, from the outside looking, from you on the inside now looking at the whole size of it, is the talent pool in New Zealand like massive?
It is. It is like massive, but only a really, really small group of people truly understand like how to make it, how to be successful in it.
Yeah.
because that's what they don't press it. You know what I mean? Like they just go, oh no, I'm not gonna bother, or they don't try to press it, or it's a case that they're just
I think like a really hard thing is a lot of the things that it takes to be successful in anything are really against like Kiwi culture. So when you think of like the idea of networking,
Yeah.
when Kiwis hear that, we're like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in every other culture, like in any other situation, like it's a really clear understanding that you're not going to get anywhere if you don't know how to network and meet people. So network is what like self-promoting yourself, like promoting your work, like all that kind of stuff.
Found that difficult. We find that hard to
Yeah,
to do,
like
you know.
it's really like taboo.
Yeah.
in
Oh,
Kiwi
you
culture.
just don't want to cross that line of like, it's that gut feeling where you're like, damn, I really feel like I'm shoving this down people's throats.
But you know what the funny thing is that as soon as you're successful, no one gives a fuck.
Yo.
True.
Like that was that's
that
really
was your
it.
hustle to get there, right? And then-
Pretty much, because like for ages, when I first started stand up, and like I was really big on getting around to all the gigs, meeting all like the big comedians. I was really like intentional on doing that, and for ages, like a lot of other comedians kind of looked at me as like a bit of an eat-ass and like a bit of a greaser, just because I would like make the effort to go to gigs and like meet people and get to know everyone.
Yeah.
But then as soon as things started to like go well, like, you know, you quickly change from being an eat-ass to like, oh fuck, like this.
Yeah.
Is actually,
Yeah. It's when those big wigs start recognizing you that's there.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, yo,
Yeah.
Joey D's here, you know, and then
And that's only
rather
because I
than
put in
you-
the effort.
Yeah, totally.
Do you know what crabs in a bucket means?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's fully that.
Yeah.
Because
Explain.
So basically, like where it came from
I'm not
is
a
that
fisherman.
when you put crabs in a bucket and one starts to make its way out, the other crabs subconsciously don't. They always pull you back down.
Oh, aye.
They
Yeah.
pull each other back down
What
when one's
dicks.
trying to get out. So it's the whole thing of like, you know,
Right.
when you're all there together and one starts to rise, will
Yeah.
people pull you back down?
and that's New Zealand. Like, you know, you think about it even just on a micro level, like anytime in New Zealand, anytime somebody wants to put themselves out there, the way I always kind of describe it is like, say everyone's standing around a table and we all like it's fucking a table full of food. Everyone's always too scared to eat,
Yeah.
even though they all want to eat.
Yeah.
Like you can't deny that. And this is the thing. Everyone wants to be successful, but then as soon as somebody else decides that they want to be successful and they start doing that, people in New Zealand are very quick to judge them, even though they themselves want the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's that same
And you
thing.
also
of
get
around-
people that try to follow, you know, as well. Like
Exactly.
Just in that exact same route.
Exactly. Because
That's
like
a good analogy because you could step up and be the first in there, and you get to the first pick. Take what you want.
100%. And a lot of Kiwis, like in that analogy, a lot of Kiwis will all stand around the table. We're all hungry as fuck.
Yeah.
And the first person to stand forward, like, what's a lot of Kiwis' reactions? It's, look at this fucking hungers cunt.
Yeah.
And their belly's rumbling.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like that's the attitude. And so for me, I was really lucky. Like I said, I grew up overseas. So I saw like I saw what it took to like really be successful. And I saw actually like how easy it could be.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think that's because like in New Zealand there's like a lack in the market and sort of what you're going towards, or is it like say something like comedy? It doesn't get that light kind of shone on it as much as a say like rugby or
No, it was honestly like because of the things I was talking about. Like
Yeah.
in New Zealand, the reason I knew it was going to be like, I shouldn't say easy, like easier, was because like even just going back to the networking thing, I knew because everyone is too scared to be seen as an eat-ass to network. I knew no one else would be networking.
yeah
So fucking, I'm the only one rocking up to these things. I don't have to worry about anyone else trying to,
yeah
you know, trying to do it. When it comes to like pitching stuff and like knocking on doors, you know, it's taboo to be in New Zealand to be like doing that before you're ready. So
Yeah.
I knew I was going to be the only one rocking up to stuff, trying to like get
Yeah.
opportunities.
yeah
So in that sense, it wasn't easy because it came straight away. Like it fucking took me years to get anything.
And
But it was
anyone
easy.
else that's that crab that's made it out of the bucket ain't pushing you back down.
Nah.
They're going to help you up.
That's the thing. Most people that
Totally.
get through the door are happy to turn around and pull someone through.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And it's because when you show yourself as a self-starter, like that's always going to be valuable to somebody. And like if you're the one that really just made your own shit happen. Another analogy,
We love them.
I love it. I'll be doing them all night.
Yeah. Crabs in a bucket. Good tattoos, eh? Nah.
There's a, I must be, my explanation for it, because I like talk and analogies constantly, and I think it's because I must have like a learning like there must be like a learning thing.
It's like learning with pictures in your head.
Yeah.
But it's good
Pretty
though,
much.
right? Like, because it's New Zealanders on a whole, like certain things that we're doing and yourself, like what you're doing, hasn't kind of been done before.
Yeah.
So you can't say, "Oh, look at this guy," or "Look at this guy." So using an analogy for people to understand is actually very helpful. You know,
For sure. And one of the big ones that I've found is that when you do break through, the analogy is that when a car's broken down, who are you more likely to help? The person who's sitting in their car waiting for someone to come help, or the person that's pushing their car?
yeah,
Like, who are you more likely to pull over and help?
the person pushing.
The car pushing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got that right. Nah.
And so that analogy really is relevant for when you do break out of that crab in a bucket mentality and you put yourself out there, because other people will see you like, oh fuck this, they're really putting themselves out there. Let's fucking get on the same waka and just start rowing this shit.
Yo,
So is nerves never like you've gone from open micing to now you're pitching shows and everything like that? Does it all? Do you kind of just catch it in your stride as you go, or is it fucking scary?
Scary. That's gonna be a catchphrase now. Scary. Imagine if someone reacted that way in a horror movie.
Fuck, that was scary. But even like, bro, I'm fine with talking in public and shit like that. I'm happy to deliver a speech. But then when it actually comes down to it, the second I sit down before I hit record, there's always that like,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I think it's because you want it to go well. It's not necessarily that you. We're pretty well versed in this sort of thing now, but I think it's the
it's a comforting feeling
expectation.
knowing that your passion's aligned.
Yeah, definitely. No, but I get super nervous, and to be fair, like I really suffer heavily from social anxiety, like really badly.
shit.
To the point where like I'll walk in somewhere, and if I'm not really like feeling the vibe, I'll literally just like turn around and leave straight away. And scared of it, like nervous a lot, you know, unsure a lot. But my biggest thing is I'm just always telling myself like, oh fuck it.
Yeah, that's a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You realise no's aren't that bad to deal with either.
My big one, and I like tell my staff this all the time, you're gonna have these feelings forever. So you don't need to work on getting rid of them, because you're never gonna get rid of them. Work on getting used to them.
Yeah.
And
Coping mechanisms and things like that. Yeah, that's very wise.
yeah. Well, thank you. so otherwise it's too scary. Otherwise you get too scared to do anything. But yeah, that's pretty much like how I approach it. Is I definitely get all those feelings, but my big thing is I have a bigger like purpose, I guess, that for me I feel more passionate about. So I always feel more passionate and more driven to do it than I ever am like scared of what could happen if I don't do it. So
Right.
that's another thing as well.
Are you hesitant to do something if you don't have like creative control with it?
Oh nah, fuck I do.
Happy to bow to the corporate dollar?
Yeah, I do.
About any dollar.
Yeah, I fucking do whatever. Like I say, my big one is I say yes to like everything, everything. Because my old lady used to preach it when I was growing up. Like you never know where your next opportunity is gonna come from.
Right.
So like, you say yes to everything. But you say it in a way that you're open minded and you open your arms. You definitely like always look out for yourself and you're careful of where you sort of trust like what you're doing and that. But when it comes to like opening the initial door, just being open to everything, and I would say a big part of where I'm at is because I've just been open to everything from the start.
Right.
Have you had any like major inspirations like growing up, like that you were like, man, because I know like you've just mentioned, and that kind of blew my question out of the water, like that you try everything and you say yes to everything, and you've had this list and you're just going down your list and stuff. But was there any like major inspiration when you're kind of getting into the space that you're like, okay, that's who I'm going to strive for?
If I can be like that, then I'm doing okay.
So my inspiration, it's funny, like it's no one famous. It's actually my uncle who I used to live with.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I've got two uncles Well, I've got two uncles that really inspired me. I was really lucky to live with at different times. My first one is my uncle Chris, and effectively, like how his life went was he drove trucks till he was like in his late 30s, like 40s. Like nothing wrong with truck driving, but it's like it's also like it's not this super amazing like thing that people strive for.
Yeah. She wanted to go the other route or something.
There's a difference between doing good and doing good enough. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like very just like chilling on that, and then so he was really content there. Was just living his life. And then he moved from driving trucks, like he then like fell into a few jobs, and then ended up like sort of 10, 15 years later, working in Asia. So like still, he very much just like bounced around and figured it out. And then now he's like, he owns like one of the biggest like boiler heating companies in the country, and he's rich as fuck.
Yo.
Just chilling and super successful now. And the reason he really inspires me is because like he was just on his own waka the whole time. Just on his own time.
Yeah.
Was never in any like he wasn't in any rush to like have it all like quote unquote figured out.
Right.
He was just doing him.
Yeah.
And for me, I really took heed to like that influence and just decided like, yeah, I'm just gonna do things on my own time and just really like not worry about when it's gonna happen. And then weirdly enough, when I started doing that, like things started just coming because like I wasn't in any rush to.
Right.
Yeah.
Wasn't really in any rush to do anything.
That's cool. It wasn't necessarily like a comedic sort of influence. It was like a life influence.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
on the way to carry yourself and how to be.
Yeah, because I lived with him before I did comedy.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it was a big like eye opener to me of like, yeah, just fucking just live your life. Just live your life.
Fucking A.
Just live it. Yeah. Just live it in a way that's real true to you. Because I think this is the thing. It's one thing to live your life, and it's another to live a life that's like true to you. Because I think a lot of people live a life that's like for others.
Yeah.
You know, they work a job. They're like, they feel like they have to work, or you know, and hang out with people that they kind of just somewhat like. But he just fucking just did what he wanted. And so when I really learned that that's possible to do, I was like, yeah, fuck, I'm going to do the same.
Fuck yeah. How much of that, like, as your workload picked up, did that need to become like I need to start planning some shit with that? Or is it hard to balance the idea of planning things as well as like, fuck, but also I want to take it day by day? And
you know what's funny, bro? Is like, I went through this massive stage in the last sort of 3 years where I was like, I fell into that. And I was planning everything, and I was like really rigid, and I felt really tight like all the time because I was trying to just like
a bit robotic.
Yeah, I felt really robotic. And then in this last year, I just decided like, I'm not going to plan anything. Honestly, I'm going to stop.
Yeah, you're a hard man to get a hold of.
Yeah. The boys will tell you.
Yeah.
So I started like I was really methodical.
Yeah.
And like really trying to be something that I'm not, because I'm not like a super methodical dude. Like I'm really like go with the flow, really.
Yeah.
And the one part of my life where I wasn't being go with the flow was like professionally.
Yeah.
I was just I was so desperate to make
force
shit
it a
happen.
bit. Yeah.
And then I literally just decided one day, I was like, nah, fuck it. I'm just gonna just fucking see what happens. And then it just started like really just boom, boom, boom,
falling into place,
one after
mate.
the other. So like even today we had a big meeting at Westpark, and the GM of Westpark was asking me, because he basically runs the company now. I don't do shit. No. He was asking me, he's like, what's your schedule looking like October to December? And I was like, fuck knows. And he's
tell
like,
me.
Yeah, and he's like, nah, seriously, like, what is it? I was like, I don't know. I know it'll be busy. I'll be doing something, but I couldn't fucking tell you what. And
he's comfortable in that fact, though.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I used to sweat that, and now I'm just like, whatever happens. If it's supposed to, it will. It'll fucking change your boys' lives. It changed my life. Was taking that shit seriously.
Yeah, I mean, like you're
already doing a good job of it. Like, if
yeah.
you're walking up to Y and fucking.
I mean, I was half cut, but when am I not?
That's the thing. I'm like super naturally hesitant to want to go on.
Yeah, I think
I hate talking on the phone and shit. Like it puts the shits up me. But
No, see, I've
Swallow the
been
pride, eh?
quite naturally confident in the way that I conduct myself. I think, and it comes across to other people. So like when you kind of reserved a bit, and you don't have that not conflict, what's the chemistry or something, it doesn't kind of shine through. And I'm just happy to take risks and stuff, because what we do is we work 50-hour, 60-hour weeks some days on the tools or whatever, and this is kind of like our passion piece. So like when it comes to trying to make it work, I feel like I put more work into this than I do on site. So sorry, boss.
No, that's all good.
You know what I mean? Like it's when you're passionate about it, like
it's hard.
full
Like
confident.
I don't think it's not like social anxiety. It's not on that level at all. But it's definitely a case of I get worried when I walk into a room. I'll naturally sink into a shell. Like my missus will say it as well. She's like, whenever you're around new people, it's like you just kind of zip yourself off.
Yeah, true.
And then just scared to talk, But then eventually, once you kind of get to know them and there's some common ground, then it's just like, here's Jared.
No, that's totally fair. I think one of the best like lessons I learnt was when it came to like networking and then obviously like trying to get things going. People usually think about it as in that you're asking for something. So you think about like how you'd ask for something. It's usually like, oh, hey, so but then if you switch that and you think about you're offering someone something, like as in you like have something to give them, like you have a skill or like something great for them. It's a way easier conversation. Like
leave the ball in their court a bit.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And like
It's the quickest way to gain someone's trust as well. If they feel like they're doing something for you, they've already invested time into you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So as soon as they have that trust, then they can form that relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, you a movie guy?
Fuck yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a bad way of saying. Also, just shout out to R.I.P. Olivia Newton-John. She passed away today.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Saw that.
Oh yeah. No. Oh yeah. Sorry.
I told you outside, but no. Do you like Grease in that?
R.I.P. ONJ. Yeah, fuck yeah. I loved Grease.
Bro, that was like throwing back to shit did in the early 2000s, bro. Grease was my shit, man.
Grease.
The high school scene where they do the dance off when they're doing like the fucking.
I used to have a real massive crush on the Latina
John
chick.
Travolta. Oh, sorry.
And Johnny T.
See, no, I never watched it.
Wait, what?
You can.
You never watched Grease?
You've never watched Grease?
I have
What do you
never
mean?
watched it.
Bro, honestly, you know how you get the Spotify
You're
rap?
fucking kidding me.
No, honestly.
Year after year, there'll be one or two songs in my Spotify rap that crack my most like listened to for the year.
Oh look, I was at the primary school disco with like a fire T-shirt and a chain with etnies on, doing Grease Lightning and all that.
Keeping a sweet tally of how many girls you
But
dance with.
you haven't seen
I
it?
haven't actually seen the film. No.
You're kidding.
No.
Okay, what other shit have you not seen that scene
Oh,
that everyone
mate,
else has
I
seen?
could give you a list. Titanic,
the
Pulp
fuck?
Fiction.
Are you just not a movie dude?
No. I am massively, but see, I've talked about this before on the pod. It's the problem is like I don't like the pirating movies or things like that. These weren't ones that we had in household DVDs, right? So I'll wait for them to come out on my streaming service, and and then I'll fully like get. I've only just finished Breaking Bad, which we talked about last episode. Which has been out for ages, but I only just got Neon, so I don't know. I want like the perfect watching moment.
I get you.
So I actually am a big movie guy, but like
you wouldn't watch like one in passing, so that's why you probably haven't like.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to ruin it by getting some pirated shitty copy. Like when it's the moment to watch that film.
Yeah, you need to be
I'm
horizontal,
gonna be,
food ready.
I'm gonna be like ready for that film as it is intended to be viewed.
I actually really respect that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
take back all my thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I do get a lot of shit for it, but like at the same time, if I do have time to explain it, then this is what happens. So, but yeah, there is still a lot of gaps in my like 90s to
fair.
2000s viewings.
Fair.
What's like top of your list?
Yeah. What is the
Pulp Fiction's the biggest one that people tell me to watch.
Oh, so you
Have you done it like have you done like Kill Bill and shit like that?
No, that's another
Have you
one.
done many like gone through Tarantino shit?
Only his later stuff.
What's the best movie you've seen? What's your favorite movie?
Top 3?
Yeah.
Imitation Game at number 3.
Wow.
Benedict Cumberbatch as Alan Turing.
Okay.
Number 2, Lawless, which is Tom Hardy and the Bondurant brothers making moonshine.
Yeah.
And number 3, Shawshank Redemption. Those are my top 3.
You got good taste.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
those are my 3 top films. I like something that's a bit of everything: love story, action, messes with your head a bit, like
there's a bit of
you
a
know,
balance.
like
I'm kind of getting a bit of a tragic vibe.
Oh, bro, how good's being sad,
like
though.
you like, you like that shit, eh?
yeah, or just something that it makes you think, like it's just yeah. Sad's an emotion.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I don't know, just some. I feel like I'm a pretty happy guy in my normal day-to-day life. So watching a film that's kind of opposite, I guess.
If it can get
That's
you
definitely
there,
a thing.
though,
Yeah.
If it can get you there.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's definitely a thing.
Do you have a top 3?
My top 3. My favorite movie of all time is this South Korean comedy thriller called Parasite.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
again,
Yeah.
Parasite.
Yeah, it's fucking.
It's fucking unreal.
It's so
I need to
good,
watch
man.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
another one I
fucking
haven't
unreal.
seen.
Has he got a movie coming out?
That was that
This
won
year,
Oscar,
this
didn't
year
it?
and next
Yeah,
year.
Did
I think first
It
foreign.
cleaned up. First
I think
foreign,
foreign
yeah.
language film. First foreign language film to win
Best director as well.
Best picture. Bong Joon-ho is the fucking guy.
Yeah.
So Parasite is number 1. Number 2, I love Scorsese. So my number 2 is always swapped out between either Goodfellas or Casino.
Fuck
Yeah.
yes.
Because they're pretty similar
Yeah.
movies.
Shout out to Goodfellas.
Goodfellas,
Man, I
yeah.
fucking love that movie.
R.I.P. Ray Liotta as well. I mean, come on, like what? Yeah, that's what.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
Lil
and
Ray.
Paulie, the guy that played Paulie as well a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Actually, I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
We're losing them.
yeah. And then number 3. Number 3 also chops and changes, but for a long time it's been Ocean's 11.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice, you like a heist.
Heist movie.
I love a heist movie. And I think people underestimate Ocean's 11. And I think I've always loved it since I was a kid, but I love it even more now that I screenwrite and have directed and stuff.
Yeah.
People don't realize how hard it is to
Oh, yeah.
direct that and write for that many good actors, that many characters.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
But like the balance and humor and like we understand the characters is,
Without
like,
downplaying all of their actors' best assets as well.
it's flawless. Like a lot of even an amazing screenwriter would fall into like a trap of writing like kind of similar character.
Yeah.
At least two or three of them are pretty similar. All of them are so different.
The
And
character
so, like,
arc
deep.
and the dialogue between Brad Pitt and George Clooney's characters, for me, is
Flawless.
It's crazy. Like the way
Yeah.
that they communicate, they don't even look at each other. It's just bounce, and like whatever they're doing.
And that's really good screenwriting. Like
Yeah.
half the time they're having conversations where the dialogue doesn't actually match. But the subtext,
Yeah.
you understand what the fuck they're talking about.
That they're like one single organism.
Yes.
That they're one brain. They're already on the same.
Yeah, it's
page.
a left and right brain operating.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah.
So, like, I loved it as a kid because for some reason I just found it super crack up. Even though I didn't understand half the jokes.
Yeah.
And then as I've gotten older, I like love it because like for all those reasons.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
love.
That was me with what was that John Favreau and Vince Vaughn they did in the late 90s about growing up in LA. And they shot it real like guerrilla style.
I know the one you're talking about. John Favreau wrote that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's incredible as well.
yeah.
He's written so much.
Funnily enough, this is fucking so weird that his name came up because his name never comes up in like film conversation. He's like
He's the
my
dude,
Hollywood
man.
idol.
He's
Oh,
the
really?
dude.
John Favreau.
Did
Yeah.
you watch the Chef show?
No, I haven't. But like, if I look at that dude's career, he's fucking done it all.
Massive, Like and I mean, it's great that he's getting a lot of recognition for the Marvel stuff now, but he's done so
He
much
was doing
more.
so much cooler
Yeah.
shit before.
Yeah.
What is that called?
And yeah, that's just totally the kind. Like, whenever people ask me what kind of career I want to have, I always say John Favreau.
Yeah.
But that's why it's buzzy that.
Oh,
you
we're
guys
big
know-
fans.
Yeah,
man. We're,
that's so.
We're,
'cause
we're
most
massive
people
movie
don't
heads,
usually.
man. We're like
Most people don't usually know
who he is.
who the fuck he is.
Yeah. In fact, and the fact that he's in the film.
Yes.
But he's the director or the writer. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always got
Yeah.
his hand in it in some way. Not like that. Like fucking, he directed Iron Man.
Yeah.
And he was in it.
Yeah.
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 Oh, I love that shit, man.
He started it all, really.
Yeah, he
Yeah, he did.
really did.
Yeah.
He really did. Like, yeah.
That first Iron Man, when did that come out? I guess 2007, 2008.
Eight?
Yeah.
Every
I was gonna
birthday
say.
party I went to that year,
Yeah.
every kid got a fucking copy of Iron Man.
And you know what's crazy is that like that Iron Man has aged so well.
Oh yeah.
You like there's Marvel movies that came out like 2-3 years ago that haven't aged well.
I think like
And
my
that
problem with Marvel is, and like Andy knows, I'm not super into the whole universe thing.
neither.
But they think that it's the only thing you watch. When they were dropping 1 a year, 2 a year, it was like, sweet, the
Perfect.
storyline's good, yeah. But now it's like, oh, you need to watch this. And if you really want to know, you need to watch this on Disney. And then there's this
bro.
fucking series on YouTube.
Yeah, it's
And it's like, dude, like...
the rabbit hole's too big now.
I watched Multiverse of Madness and I was like, because
What the fuck?
yeah, well, because my little brother he watches everything, like he fucking froths it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't get it. Like, what's this? He's like, oh, it happened in like this episode of WandaVision. I was like, I fucking didn't watch that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make a movie that I can just rock up and watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's also a like a key to that, right? Being able to make a film that follows a story from previous films, but is also an independent film.
Yeah.
And that's a real like hard thing
Yeah.
to kind of
You've
do.
also got a really, really critical, like, group of comic book enthusiasts that need things to be happening and you need to be unveiling a story.
and then you
and I'm
got
sure
Marvel Universe
to keep
enthusiasts
their-
that
yeah.
don't read the
To keep
comics.
their credibility, they need to kind of be like winking to them at the same time.
I have had this theory for a while that I've thought about,
Here we go.
and I don't know.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I think Harry Potter kicked off this whole
Universe
multiverse thing.
Yeah.
The reason being is because so Deathly Hallows becoming a 2-parter movie. I can't remember there being any other movie before that, right? That had
Right,
done a
yeah.
2-parter like that.
Right.
But I remember when they did the 2-parter, then everybody was doing 2-parters after that.
There was a
A setup
And then-
movie and then just a fucking final movie that's usually just a big fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then went from 2-parters to then we're doing like
Yeah, you look at Lord of the Rings. They didn't split the third one
No.
into two. That was
No. They did
it with The
obviously
Hobbit,
prior.
though.
Yeah, there you go. The Hobbit was split into three.
yeah,
right.
but then also like Lord of the Rings is a trilogy, but still like they still work well standalone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this idea of like, no, this is like very much a movie that's split in half. You have to watch the first one to get the second one.
Yeah,
That hadn't really been done, and so I think when I saw that, and then this whole multiverse thing sort of had come of that, where it's like, fuck, you have to watch like 3 of these fucking movies to get this fourth one.
Yeah.
It's like,
and TV series and all of that. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. Part of you's like, is it like a Disney thing?
yeah.
yeah.
Just
Why
give us
this?
like a '90s Happy Madison fucking like.
Fucking oh,
Bro, the art of like a
Production,
good
like-
comedy, bro, it's hard now, man, because
yeah,
like naturally
Oh,
there's
yeah.
censorship to a lot of things, but there's also, I don't think production companies and that want to throw a big budget
no,
at
they
a film
don't.
that's relying on a joke like that.
No, they don't. Like,
We've seen Adam Sandler himself he's got his own kind of thing going
Yeah.
on, but towards the end it was kind of like,
yeah, I think Judd Apatow was like the last of he I think he
Yeah.
milked.
He's like the Don though, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he-
Like,
he
he
was.
knows everyone in that space. That's
Yeah.
like
he was lucky he got onto everyone really young as well though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he was the last director that they were giving $100 million budgets
Mm.
for comedies to. And I think by the time he'd run his course, like no one else was really getting a chance. But
Mm.
comedy, it's the same with stand up. Like comedic films have evolved.
yeah.
Like stand up's evolved as well. Like you could make a movie like Caddyshack, where it's fucking just cunts playing golf,
Yeah.
and there's kind of no real storyline, but for some reason there's one chick in there that always has her titties out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's always got her titties out. Like,
That's a shtick, man.
that's
the
literally it. And so, like, it went from like a Caddyshack to now, audiences don't want like an outright like laugh from start to finish comedy.
Yeah.
They want something that like incorporates a bit of a story.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
Parasites, I would consider a comedy, but
Really?
it's
Dark comedy, yeah.
yeah. There's kind of
It is. There's I think there's humor in it.
There's humor in it, but
Yeah.
it's
Mm.
you would never advertise that as a comedy, but it is a comedy.
It's just kind of, I think what they did really well was, it was the writing was so good of just a real life family.
Yeah.
And if you got chucked in that situation, like it was executed so well, but at the same time, there was the suspense of like what's happening downstairs, and then the end is just kind of like chaotic, and you don't know what to think. Have you seen Everything Anywhere All at Once or something?
One of the best movies I've ever seen.
It was fantastic.
One of the best movies I've ever seen.
But
I'm getting left in the dust. Harry Potter, you say?
Yeah. I can talk about that. Can we go back
Philosopher's Secret?
Can we go back to when we talk about Vortex Mega Halo?
But even
No, you
that,
gotta
like
watch.
when I got to the end of that, I was kind of like, it got to a point where I was like, this is either going to lose me or it's going to fucking double down.
Yeah.
And it just bit me in. Whatever that means.
It was fucking.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't know what to expect sitting in. But I don't know, you're kind of guared. They don't nail it all the time, but the A24,
they're gonna
They
bring
know
you
their
some shit
shit.
that's gonna fuck you up. Yeah, A24's the dream for sure. But yeah, like that's we've just kind of evolved as a society. Like I think, we don't want full brim laughs because even in stand up, like the change has happened. Like people don't really want like a comedian who's just going up there and just fucking just telling like one like back in the day, you know, as a comedian you could be really successful just doing like one-liners.
yeah.
But today they want you to like talk about shit.
Yeah, there needs
wanna-
to be a lesson in there somewhere as
they
well.
want to know about you. So it's all kind of evolved like in that way, really.
That's why, I mean, I know he's like one of the most famous comedians, but Dave Chappelle's always there, like, if you could have dinner with one person,
Yeah,
he's going to give you the basic laughs. But anytime you watch anything that guy puts out or any conversations he has,
for sure.
it's super thought-provoking,
Yeah,
peppered with comedy, but there's always an undertone of, like, some sort of injustice or some sort of something going on. I
his
don't
real
know.
life experiences, like and it's just just peppered with a few fucking yarns. Yeah,
Is it still the goal to have, like, a comedy special or something like that? Or have you moved? Nah. 'Cause so many people are moving away now of getting lost in the algorithm of Netflix and that, and you see people releasing on YouTube now.
Yeah,
Does that kind of tickle your fancy?
Yeah, I never really wanted to do like a special. Honestly, I never really wanted to like. My goal was never to be like the biggest stand-up comedian. I wanted to be in a comedy like sphere, like a Seth Rogen, like
Yeah.
you know, like writing movies, making them,
Yeah.
kind of just being just a random dude around Hollywood.
Yeah.
Would you stick to comedy writing, or if you, because you talk about like Ocean's 11 and things like that. Obviously, there's a bit of comedy in there. Would you stick to comedy, or would you try and branch out?
I'll definitely branch out. Like I'll do a horror movie.
Yep.
Eventually, yeah.
Appeal?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
That
Totally.
man, like comedy genius,
Comedy
and
genius.
now horror genius.
Doesn't
You
he?
go
Just a
back and you
genius.
watch some of the
Exactly.
old Key and Peele skits, and some of the ones they put some suspense in. You're like, fuck, you can see it there.
Yeah.
You could see it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the brain for it, and
Yeah.
you know the timing is everything, right? Like timing's huge, and it's the same in comedy as it is in horror with timing.
Yeah.
Because
For sure.
if it's off, it's off.
You,
But you need to nail it.
both comedy, that is such a fucking good point. You nailed it. Because
Nice.
in both comedy and horror, you got to feed your pauses.
Yeah.
So like a joke, like when you're telling a joke, like the pauses can make it just
It's
as
what
funny.
you don't say.
Yeah, it's what you don't say.
Yeah.
And horror, same thing. Like Alfred Hitchcock talks about the bomb under the table. So he's like, what's scarier for the audience? The bomb going under the table and blowing up, that'll give them a fright, but they're only scared for a few seconds. But if you put the bomb under the table and then you surround the table with people and you don't tell them when it's going to go off, that could be scary for fucking an hour.
Right, yeah.
I think there was a film that came out, Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
And it was not the scariest
blind
film.
guy?
Yeah. At the first one, the second was horrible, but the first one, I think the whole time I was in suspense for about 2 hours, and that's what
Because you're like, is this fucking blind dude?
yeah, and that's
Gonna
exactly what you wanted out of a film like that. You're like, I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
It was, and it's very powerful the way like that you can have these pauses and the suspense building.
For sure.
It's
the same with what was John Krasinski's fucking The Monsters
Quiet
and
Place.
Shit. Quiet Place.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then it proves it's not just one sense. If you can get someone triggered by the other senses of you can't hear us. You're not supposed to be hearing
you're
something.
Fucked, yeah.
And then,
You said John Krasinski. I heard Mike Wazowski. No, not gonna lie. So,
that is a
that's,
banger horror movie.
Yeah.
not random.
Yeah, not gonna lie, that shit scared me.
That's scary.
Was there like anything that you weren't supposed to be scared of when you were younger that you found scary? But I found the Cookie Time Cookie Monster. I've got like, because I remember all my dreams like all the time, right? And I've still got this vivid memory that I had when I stayed at my cousin's when I was young. And I had a dream that I walked out into his lounge and then there was just like a long cave and I could see the shadow coming and the Cookie Time bear like walked around the fucking thing. And I remember waking up and being like, fuck. And I used to be real scared of Inspector Gadget. I was like, that guy's got too many limbs. He could get me from anywhere.
That's freaky.
Matthew Broderick. Yeah.
No, was that...
Is
yeah,
it not
no,
a-
it wasn't Matthew Broderick.
yeah,
I thought it was the
yeah.
animated one. But you're right.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy. He had the face. I don't know. I don't know if I've got any. There probably is, but like just being put like trying to think about it. I don't know, like things like this PlayStation game like Abe's Odyssey. That was a fucking trip for me. I don't know if any of you guys played it. Like I used to play that quite a bit as a kid, and that really tripped me out. I used to have I'd have dreams about it and be like, fuck. Like that was trippy shit.
I wasn't scared of clowns when I was a kid, but do you remember the gay time like ice cream cones?
Yeah.
The clown on that used to freak me out. Because because I'd go down to our freezer and like try to sneak some ice cream when I was a kid, and I'd open it up and see the clown and be like, oh fuck that. Fuck
Just
that.
eating out of your hand.
Yeah. Just grab vanilla ice cream, fucking run back to my room.
Not today, clown.
Yeah, bro. So I'd open it up and I'd see it, I'd be like, fuck you fucking bastard. So that was something that should not have scared me. That definitely did. And then fuck, it used to freak me the fuck out. That movie, The Witches.
Was that the one where there's like a 3 and then they morph at some point or turn people into mice or something like that?
That one.
Yeah, I get
and
you,
they're
bro.
at the fucking country club.
That's right.
And there's like
I'm glad I didn't see it now.
and there's like hella gilfs.
Fuck, that's one of those things where it's like, I haven't thought about that for 15 years.
But yeah, that movie used to fucking freak me out, and I'd watch it all the time. Because I used to find that the leading like witch like
Bad Jelly the Witch. That
Kinda
was
sexy.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, what? Nah, Bad Jelly the Witch. That one fucking creeped me the fuck out.
Bad Jelly.
It was like a book, but you'll see like it in like primary school. They'd also put like the tape in, and they'd. I actually don't know what the fuck it was about. I think I ran out the fucking room. It scared me that much. But I still remember the cover of the book.
Yeah.
I think I'm just scared of books. I can't read.
Fucking Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah. I find that all good.
So like the monster, it wasn't the monsters that scared me. It was the idea that he was stuck because he was like in the closet, right?
Yeah.
It was the idea that he was stuck in there forever.
Couldn't get
that used
out.
to freak me out. So like,
and he would leave, and no time had passed in the thing, and he'd come back and he was old or something. Wasn't that like the?
I think so.
And he'd left the
Interstellar?
crown there. I don't.
That's right. Where the Wild Things Are with Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
all right.
He pops out the closet. All right. I think he did that in real life.
That's the thing about Texas.
That's the thing about the wild things. He's
That guy's become like a caricature of himself, eh? His videos that he puts online just cracks me the fuck up.
Bro, that I just finished this book.
The Green Light?
Yeah, that is a dude that fucking just does whatever.
True.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
I started listening to I got the sample of the audio book for it.
Oh, real?
And then listening to it in his voice, but he kind of like, his voice has like a cadence to it.
Yeah.
I kind of couldn't engage in the book because he was reading it and he was like, and I went outside and I sat in my chair. And then I was like, dude, you're like kind of like Billy Ray Cyrus or something.
He's got that whistle at the end of each. Yeah.
Go Longhorns.
Yeah.
Go Longhorns. Yeah, he lived in Australia for like his early 20s or late teens. Yeah.
Fuzzy Life. I remember
Fuzzy
seeing
Life.
him in a Woman's Day, bro, and it was when he got snapped like nude on the beach playing the bongos.
Oh, he talks about that in the book. Yeah. He talks about that in the book. That's fucking funny.
That was the first time I ever heard of like stand-up paddleboarding as well. They were like, that's why he's fit. And I was like, that's what I need to do then.
Stand up paddleboarding. Of course, Matthew McConaughey stand up paddleboards.
Are you a big reader? Like, do you read heaps?
Yeah, read quite a lot. When I was younger, like traveling around and stuff, we didn't always have. Oh, like we always had TV, but like, you know, being in like India, Malaysia, most of the time TV it was in fucking like Hindu or Malay or Punjab, so like it wasn't in English. So I'd just read books. And where we stayed, there was a bookstore like in our complex. So me and my old lady would just go. My old lady's cheap as fuck. Like we would just go down in the bookstore and read the books, but like not buy them.
Oh yeah.
And I got really good as a kid, like reading really quickly. So like we'd go down and sit down there because my mum wasn't working when we first moved over. Go to sit down for like 5-6 hours, and I'm like a 10-year-old, like fucking just rocking through these chapter books.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's pretty much where like my love for reading started, and just kind of.
Is it like fiction, or do you like to read about a story? Or
Yeah, it's mostly non-fiction that I read these days. I haven't read a fiction book in ages.
wait, non-fiction's the
Real one.
real one.
Yeah, yeah.
That wasn't what I meant, but
That was confusing.
I didn't even read, but
yeah. No, I got mixed up.
Yeah, no, all good.
That was like, I listened to the Dave Goggins audiobook recently.
Oh, how was that?
Bro, fucking intense. Like, we were listening to it when we went to sleep in that. Like, me and my missus and that, and you'd turn it on and it'd be like, and then I ran with fucking broken legs. And you're like, good night. But, like, I can't find... Like, I never was into that sort of shit.
Yeah,
and I was kind of like, good on you, bro. But, like, I'm a bit more chilled.
Yeah,
But
that's funny. I like non-fiction, but I don't like self-help. Not saying that is, but I don't like self-help or like 7 ways to like fucking be an effective
manipulate people.
Yeah, like bullshit like that. I mostly just like reading biographies.
Yeah, same.
So I pretty much just mainly do that.
people's experiences,
Yeah.
powerful stuff that someone that's already gone through it.
Yeah.
That was what I got given Will Smith's book, but I was like, I don't know if it'll be the same reading it now.
Hard out, eh?
I don't know. I imagine it's the same as watching like a film that's like based on true events or on a true story. It's like reading an autobiography.
Yeah.
I don't I don't read. I can't read. So I think I've read like 3 chapter books in my life.
True.
So I've struggled with that like for a very long time.
Do you have like a reading? Or you just don't read?
It's not been like diagnosed as dyslexia, but I've never been able to always jumble up words like
true.
All of these boys know like how bad it is. Like I'll so one of the worst ones, I saw this number plate and what was it? I said I was like, oh man, this guy's number plate says pubes. And I sent a Snapchat to the boys like, oh, this number plate says pubes. And then like the first message back is like, Andy, that says pubs. And I looked back at the number plate and it said pubs. Like my mind put that E in there for no reason. And like enough for me to like look at it a few times and make a Snapchat and like do a big, and it's been like that like my whole life, like reading, I'll get along, a couple of sentences and I'm like, fuck, that didn't make sense. And I go back and I was like, there's like less words in there than there was before.
Got you.
So it just becomes a massive fucking ball ache for me to read. So I just don't.
Yeah.
Audiobooks, bro.
Yeah, it's true. But then if I'm audiobooking, I'll just film.
Like, do you walk around with headphones and that much?
Nah, if I'm working, it's like radio's cranking and like I usually looking after quite a few guys on site. So
my main reason I got into it was because of like my sleeping issues, not being able to go to sleep. So I'd always chuck that in. But then you listen to music in that, and it was like, this is kind of hyping me up.
Yeah.
Even if you listen to chilled out shit, you're like, oh,
yeah. That's my thing. I listen to music constantly, like always with my headphones and always listen to podcasts. That's probably most of my one.
Yeah,
podcasts.
My podcasting now that I'm off site and kind of in an office where it's like I don't really need to be available all the time.
Yeah.
But it sucks. Like now it's gotten to the point where it's you wake up on a Tuesday and like refreshing my podcast app. I'm like, fuck, I need more.
Yeah, hard out. You just go back to watching like old ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of always been my thing. I reckon of late that I mostly consume, if not movies, is podcasts.
Right.
Just listen to fucking everything and anything.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's next for you, bro? You got the pipeline looking good.
What's Joey D got on his plate?
A couple of things. So mostly it's just things coming out. So like this show that I co-wrote, will come out on Comedy Central Australia sometime in the next 2 months, and then Bouncers will come out in probably October, maybe.
Fuck
Don't
yeah.
quote me on that. And then the show that I'm shooting that I went over to Europe for, get the name right, will come out September.
Shit. So big run towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Fuck yeah.
so end of the year
A
will
few
be,
red carpets.
yeah. End of the year will be pretty hectic.
Shit, let us know where the after party is.
Fuck yeah. No, totally.
Yeah.
We'll do some quite cool things for Bouncers. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be really cool to get you boys along to as much as you're keen for.
Yeah, man.
Feed me.
Yeah. Fill my cup, blood. So yeah, just it's a lot of stuff coming out, and then we've got things in the works that will kind of start rolling out at West Park as well. I don't know. It's a bunch of shit. It'll be a really exciting last sort of dash of the year.
The schedule of someone that also just takes it day by day.
Yeah, and genuinely, other than those things, fuck knows.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We'll
Hey.
see. We'll see.
Do you want to do a yuck and yum?
Yeah. Oh, I don't even have anything fucking planned.
Oh, just
I mean, I've got a big fucking yuck if you want one.
yuck and a yum's just one yuck thing that's happened to you this week. Like, that
okay.
fucked me off. And then a yum's like something that you want to like gas up.
Okay.
Dude, I'll go first. My yuck today, I lost $5,000 worth of tools. I came out of my house today and I saw that my truck had been broken into. You fucking scumbags. What are you doing with your life? I'm not at liberty to say anymore but
You
that's
stole a man's tools and
that's-
how he makes his living.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what's gonna like happen since you don't like? What do you do? Like, do you just fucking?
What, with work or because
Yeah.
I'm off work with the injury still.
Oh, true.
I'm in rehab, thankfully. I don't actually need them the next day. But like if I was still at work and that had happened overnight, like my boss and some of the boys would help me out, I'd still be able to work. It'd be okay, but still, it doesn't make it right. I'm just fortunate enough to be off to be able to organise the next steps and shit like that. But fuck, man, that was a shit one for me this morning. So yeah, that's my fucking yuck for the week. You got one?
Yeah, not on that scale, bro. But I was in a real rural
Set the bar
Portaloo today and ran out of TP. What did I have?
That's a yuck, bro.
Bro, I was that- nah, but
what
like-
did you do?
Okay, I was real close to having finished wiping up. I was like, I just need 1 or 2 more passes here. And what did I have on me? A face mask.
Oh
in my
no!
in my pocket.
Did you Mia Khalifa?
So that finished the job. And shout out to Superloos. That's
You didn't put that thing back on, eh?
So how did you like? What kind of face mask was it though?
like one of the blue ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it
So
had traction.
It wasn't one of the like the N95s, and they're like a little bit sharp.
Yeah. Oh,
you
Yeah, the duck bill.
Yeah. Bring your fingers in that fun.
Bro, they could double brand those.
Yeah, I know.
They really could.
Sometimes it- yeah.
turn it inside out. Turn
Yeah.
it inside out.
So many of those wipes aren't just they're the good enoughs.
Any yucks,
That's
Joe?
my yuck. Sorry.
Any yucks?
Bro, big or small, mine just happened today.
Yeah, fuck, yours is real bad. That fucking sucks, man. My yuck is probably, I don't know, like moving is always niggly.
Oh, fuck yeah, bro. Are you in the
I-
process of moving?
Yeah. I mean, I moved into my place 4 weeks ago, and I've still got just shit sitting in my car that I just can't be
Oh.
fucked like
Yeah.
taking upstairs. Yeah. So moving has been niggly.
Bro, that's a
That's-
big yuck. I've moved
Moving's
like,
a
at
big
least
yuck.
20
Yeah.
times in my life, and I hate it.
It's
So,
a big fucking yuck.
That's a big yuck, bro. That's,
Yeah.
that's-
Imagine being like our parents or our grandparents' generation. You move once or twice.
yeah. Or ever.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
Fuck, I've moved twice in a year. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
That was
bullshit.
like moving flats is a hassle, and I'm packing up like
Yeah.
a desk, a bed, and some drawers. The idea of moving house one day when it's kind of furnished and shit like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it can get to the point where you can just pay
But the
a moving
different
company or
Yeah.
something.
the difference is though, like your parents would get like a moving truck and like have a like couple of days for it, and you're off school or whatever.
Yeah.
If you're moving flat, like you've hired like a Bunnings trailer and like one strap,
It's fucking
and you're
always
like, fuck.
raining.
Yeah, always raining.
Flatmates
You're
never
like-
home to fucking help you carry your bed.
Exactly.
bro.
You're trying to muscle it by yourself, and that's
The worst is when you've moved out, but then you got to go back and like clean
That,
the walls.
that
and
is the
shit.
worst.
Yeah.
That is the worst.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm done here.
You gotta go back. Yeah, fucking
big yucks.
Yeah, moving is a big yuck. Is a big yuck.
Mm.
I like. It got to the point. Where I remember I lived in a flat for about 9 months, and like I just could not be fucked moving. That all I moved in was a bed and my bag, and I just treated the bag like a wardrobe and just fucking lived there. Just lived out of the bag because I was just like, I'm gonna be moving soon. I cannot
Yeah.
be fucked.
Minimalist.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do the absolute bare minimum here.
My yum for the week. Today I started rehab for the ankle, so looking at getting back to work 5th of September-ish.
Nice,
So
man.
yeah, happy to be back mobile. I did my first sort of rehab session today.
How was it?
Oh yeah, a bit stiff, you know, but got a
Is
few
it like
What about
squats in
the
there.
what about the rehab session? Zing.
That's just a
No.
consultation.
Yeah.
5 months of that. What? It feels good to be mobile again. Boot off rehab session.
It's nice, bro.
So, yeah, you know,
Mate.
I'm happy to be back mobile. So
Fuck yeah.
that's a big ups for me today.
We on.
I mentioned it earlier, but my yum, I guess, will be Olivia Newton-John. Like I
Oh,
said,
yeah.
big fan of. Grease was like mad impactful on me back in the day, so
but-
and I
same.
still watch it quite a lot.
Yeah.
The whole family gets around it. The old man gets around it.
Yeah. See that?
Yeah, so-
that would hit different.
Shout her out. Like that
Yeah.
was a
Celebrate
good
a lot.
time.
Shout
Great
out love,
soundtrack.
man.
Yeah.
Shout out love. That's a good yum. That's a good yum.
You got
My-
something to end us off there, Joe?
My shit. My is probably. Oh, I got to go back to Welly on the weekend, and
So
it was my brother-in-law's birthday, so I got to see my brother-in-law and my sister.
Oh, nice.
My whole family still live in Wellies.
Oh,
Yep.
true.
Yeah, so it was nice to go back and see everyone, because I probably only see them like a couple times a year.
Yeah.
So
Nice to be grounded again.
yeah. And it was mean, like, yeah, they're all just like, it's real cruisy down there.
Yeah.
So that's like even nicer energy to like be around.
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah, my older brother's in Welly as well. And
Oh, true.
Yeah. So was it Kilburnie? No.
Oh, yeah?
Was it
Yeah.
out by the coast there? Is that what it's called? No. Fuck.
Down by like.
Well, Kilburnie's by like near the airport. Like,
Yeah.
that's-
It's
I think it's out
around
there.
those ways.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Kilburnie's a nice area, bro.
Yeah, he enjoys it there with his wife, and I've enjoyed my time in Welly that I've been down there.
Yeah.
Welly's different, eh? Like it's nice. It feels like everyone's kind of questioning the norm down there.
It's
which
yeah,
is-
it's a fucking. Wellies is such a good energy to be
Mm.
around, man. It's like everyone's on their own time. Everyone's doing whatever the fuck. Like, yeah, you walk down Cuba Street and
Yeah. I mean, it's
Cunts
not
are
a,
wearing
not a
all
dig
ki-
at New Zealand, but like you go around the world, cities have different characters. I think if we're going to give that to something like New Zealand, Wellington's the one that actually has like a character and a tone where you're
Oh.
like, oh, this is Wellington.
100%. Because like even we have like our own slang and stuff, and like people very much dress a certain way. Enough that like people recognize when someone's from Wellington. So
Yeah.
and I was always really proud of that, and so it's always really cool going back and yeah, everyone's just fucking just
Nice, man.
just chilling. It's really nice energy to be around, and especially like my family, like they're super chill. So
Fucking sick.
Sick, man.
yeah, didn't know you were chill like that, dude.
And that wraps up episode 37 of Off Topic,
38.
guys. 38. Fuck. Bro, every time. Yeah, if you ever want to get at us on Instagram, it's at Off Topic Chat. We can be your shoulder. We can be an ear for anything like that. We're always here for you. At Off Topic Potty on TikTok and offtopicjandy@gmail.com if you want to email us through anything. Joe, thank you for swinging by, bro.
Appreciate you, brothers. Honestly,
Yeah,
thanks so much for having
All good,
me.
bro.
Yo, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, sorry it was such a fucking hassle getting me, but yeah,
That's all good, man.
Appreciate
Man, the garage is always here.
Yeah. Have you on again?
Yeah, I'll be back. Straight
Yeah.
up.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, sweet. Later.
Later.
Good
Good night, eh?